right. Welcome everybody and good afternoon. We have 4 wonderful guests here with me. And for the next half an hour, we'll talk about money and finances and millions and billions of euros and dollars. So I hope you got some questions prepared. You can ask the question directly. This is what I prefer. So raise your hand or shout or anything like that. So personally. Or you can ask the question via mobile app. I hope you already downloaded it. So we will receive questions during the discussion. So just feel free to ask me, wave me, or anything that I will see you. So tonight we have, today we have with me representative of 4 different institutions that are in some sort of correlated to the startup finances. So MAJA, TOMANIČ, VIDOVIČ, the director of Slovene Enterprise Fund. MAJA, welcome. HUDINA KMETIČ, acting head of European Commission representation in Slovenia. Welcome. And the 2 gentlemen on the yellow seat, MOSHE SARFATY, Crypto Venture Capital, and MUŠIČ, credit insurance manager at Seed Banka. So, as you mentioned, as you can imagine, they are all in some sort related to the startup finances, and we will go about their products or their financing product later. But first, we will kick off the discussion with some really positive numbers, and these numbers are made or are the result of the study made by Atomico and Slush, and in the study, the State of European Tech. And in the 2015, in Europe, we reach 10 of the unicorns. So together we have, since 2003, we have 35 unicorns. These are billion-dollar valuated companies. The second positive number is that the total deal volume has more than doubled in Europe in the past 5 years. The deals in all stages, not only in early stages. And the total number of rounds are up for 2.5 times in the last 3 years. So for the first round of the questions, I would like each of you to shortly comment these positive trends. And what does then these numbers or these trends mean from the perspective of your organization? So maybe Ula, can you start?
Yes. Yes, thank you, Urban. From the Commission perspective, indeed, these figures that you're quoting, or from any other figures in the last 2 years especially, we see an upswing on the European startup market. And the figures that I was checking, similar to yours, was showing that the last quarter of last year was basically the most impressive one since 2001. So there is indeed a positive trend in both investments and fundraising on the startup market. And what has been encouraging is also that there are actually exits now on the startup market, which is also good because such an environment needs exits in terms of bringing the capital to the market, but also in bringing in new investors and also in promoting the entrepreneurial spirit, which is probably the key topic of the day. So from judging by these figures, indeed it's encouraging, and it also gives us further reasons on why promoting some schemes and some policies that perhaps I'll explain later.
Okay, thank you. MAJA?
Yes, hello, also from Slovene Enterprise Fund. For us is also this good positive information are very welcome because we are very close to startups in Slovenia. We are a national financial institution with favorable financial sources for SMEs and of course for startups too. And if the figures are good abroad, that means because we are a small economy, all these positive trends influence on our situation here. And Also, we have good results here. I can explain this later, but just for impression, 400 startups got our financial support together with all other partners in startup ecosystem, and they reach also, some of them reach very good results. And I hope that also we will, or we already are on these positive trends, and that we will continue with this story.
Okay, great.
Hey, I think because we're in discussion here, so I'll take the other side of the map for the sake of the argument. And I think that in one end, we are about a real positive trend of increasing amounts of deals and increasing the amount of money inflowing into the market that we all play in. But on the other end, we also have to try to see what are the numbers of the VCs coming out of these waves. Okay, at the moment, the money is in the inflow side. And I don't think the outflow of these VCs, and when we look on a market as a market, I don't think we are there yet. Okay, and I think in Israel, where I'm coming from, there is a big discussion about evaluation and about if we are in a wave or not, if we are gonna go, if this positive atmosphere is gonna change soon. I cannot really tell you at the moment what I feel. But I think that if we look retroactive on numbers of VC, and this is a study that we made and we verified a few times, if you look back 30 years back and you try to estimate how many VCs actually managed to triple money for their investors, do you know what's the amount? Just guess.
I don't want to know.
Now I'm asking you.
No, I don't know the number.
Somebody knows how many VCs actually managed to return 3 times more money to their investors?
From how many?
30 years back, okay? Look on the investments as a whole, how many VCs managed to triple the money for the investors? Only 5%, okay? This is a really low amount. So obviously, everything should be measured going further, but as from the VC side, where we enjoy from carry and management fees and everything, let's put management fee aside. From carry, we have to bring a result for our investors. So I'll tell you if I'm happy or not about this fact in 20 years maybe, or 10 years maybe.
Okay. But overall, these positive trends are some sort of, result of the, ecosystem that is lifting and slowly getting in the way of, American level. Or do you think this is some sort of, indication that we are on the right way?
When you say American level, you mean what? Valuation levels? What do you mean?
I mean the valuation level, maybe also the ambition of the startups, trying to grow internationally and seeking capital and going really big, not only on the European level.
Well, I think all the industry as a whole enjoys like a big wave only because of what's going on in alternative equities, in other financial markets. While return is relatively low there, obviously money is flowing to different alternatives. And one of the industries enjoying decrease in other industries is our industry that we're all part of, right? So we all feel that when we meet with investors, when they have no other place to put their money in. So, I mean, yeah, I also feel that we are in a big positive way, but I don't know, something in my stomach tells me that I'm not sure if this is going to go for a long time.
Okay, cool. Thank you. MATJAŽ?
Thank you very much. Maybe...
just please keep the mic really close so we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe just the first introduction for the audience, so they won't be asking, okay, what is Seed Bank doing here and what did they do for the startups? Today I won't be talking much about startups. I'll be talking about mechanisms for growth, especially when the startups reach the phase where they can no longer grow on domestic market, but they need to go abroad. This is where Seed Bank comes in. We take the risk of the trade of the foreign companies, and this is where we see our role. Now, going back to your question, what these numbers mean for us? Well, for us, for the beginning, it means a big potential. So probably not all companies will succeed, getting to the level where they will be able to export to different countries. But certainly some amount, some share of them will reach that level, and that for us means a potential for future business.
Okay, what is the typical profile of the company you are supporting? So in terms of, I don't know, revenue or industry sector, what is the typical company? So maybe if there is any such company here, you know, so they know who you, when they can step and knock on your office.
Right. Basically, our traditional products were buyer's credit insurance. Those were companies that were selling capital goods. But with a couple of years ago, construction companies doing business in Russia, they were our biggest clients. Now with the construction sector, in Slovenia collapsing, we were focusing on other segments as well. As you know, Slovenia is basically consisted of SMEs, so we don't have very much large companies. During these years, we have developed new insurance products that we can service all kinds of business. We provide service guarantee insurance, we provide working capital facility insurance, buyer's credits, pre-export risk, you name it.
Okay.
I mean, whenever you have a business related to the export, there is some risk in this business, and we develop the product that can take the risk on ourselves.
I have one example. We have Chipolo, the famous Slovenian startup, which sells the small, products who can help you find your phone or your items, Joe Chipolo, and they just recently launched the new version of their product. They were also successful in the Kickstarter, and let's say that the guys are doing really well, and they got, I don't know, 10 million of purchases, so they need 10 million of these chips made. Can you help them in sort of a way to get the material, cover some costs or insure something?
Yeah, there are a number of ways we can help them. I'll come back again. We provide insurance service, which means taking the risk. We don't provide finance.
Okay.
The company needs the bank that would provide them maybe the loan for working capital. We can share the risk with the bank. So we insure the bank that the loan will be repaid by the exporter. This is one product. Maybe when they're selling abroad to different buyers, coming from different countries, getting to sign the contract is one thing. Getting paid is a different thing. So we can insure the receivables. So it's not just, we signed a deal for 10 million. Getting 10 million on your bank account, this is where we secure the deal.
Okay, perfect. Right. Let's go now more to the operative level. So our guests is really, or our participants really have the information what sort of products are really available on the market to finance growth. So Maja, maybe first to you. Recently, just 2 years ago, you launched SK50 and SK200, two products. Can you just briefly explain what are these products and what are so experienced by now with these products?
Okay, maybe I will just present the whole area of our products for startups, because it starts even before this seed capital. So we put each year annually on the market 100 million euro per all SMEs in Slovenia, and 25% of all this money is meant also for young companies. Even for startups, around 10 million euro for startups. And we cover the whole stages in their life cycle. We start with so-called startup money. This is for the real beginning, for the first stage, just to start the company and to start doing something, or even not just doing, to develop till the end. And for this stage, they can get, as I said, this startup money. This is the special combination of our startup loan and the grant. And in the second stage, when the company is already thinking about entering on the market, they are prepared for the market, they can get seed capital in two forms, convertible loans. We have convertible loans and direct capital investments. And in direct capital investments, there is maintaining of there also has to be private investors, like business angels, connected with these investments. And companies can get 75,000 euro of convertible loan or to 200,000 euro of direct capital investments. And for the third phase, when the company is already prepared for the rapid global growth, they can go further, and they can get also venture capital through venture capital funds, which cooperate with us in public-private partnership. Now we have 4 of these venture capital funds. We will continue with this program in the 2016. Now it's just ended at the end of August. So this is the whole range of different financial products. And for example, 5 years ago, a company can get only 50,000 euro. Now it can get, in these 5 years, good development and growth of the company, they can get more than 1.5 million euro of different support. So this is for us very important. And we are not doing this by ourselves. We are the partner of startup ecosystem, of this startup hub, and I think this is the most important thing, because the finance, it's not the only way to support. There has to be also some coaching programs, and seed capital is very much connected with the coaching support. That means each company has startup mentors. It can be involved in coaching programs like startup schools or some other kind of support. And the results till now are very well. We started with this 1.5 years ago. In this time, we supported, I think, approximately 40 startups. Majority of them are with convertible loans. 5 of them, or maybe till the end of this year, will be 8 of them with our direct capital investments. So for this beginning, it's very good. And also the results on the venture capital scheme are quite good. In this public-private partnership with private investors for this global growth, 30 companies, really very fast-growing companies, got these venture capital investments. So I think we are doing now something new in Slovenia. This is really a new approach. And through the synergy, I think, and I'm strongly convinced that all partners in this startup hub have proven that through the synergy, it could be quite good results could be achieved.
All right. For all the startups that are here and are eager to join your programs, our programs in next year, what can we expect in 2016? Will all these programs you mentioned will be already available, or yes. Is it too soon to say what will be available next year?
No, we created this strategy, and we would like that this strategy will continue till, I don't know, next 5 years. And of course, also in 2016, all 3 programs will be available. So we will start with the startup money, and then seed capital, additional 3 million euro of seed capital is available. And we are looking for partnership with private investors, especially on the seed capital scheme. So each investors who are interested in investing its money in these innovative startups are very welcome, and please get touch with us, because we will organize special meeting with them. And of course, we would like to continue also with this venture capital scheme, maybe even more ambition. We are thinking about to create not just this public-private partnership on the national level, but on the cross-border level, because countries are very similar in this region: Austria, Italy, Croatia, Slovenia. We are doing now on this project. It's not so easy, because you have to find the solution on a multinational level. It's even difficult to find a solution on the public-private level. But we will continue with this. So I can already say that also the venture capital will be available.
Okay, perfect. Ula, maybe to you. We discussed questions before, and we got the numbers regarding these positive trends I mentioned at the beginning of the discussion. But although the trends are really positive, the relative availability of the capital varies significant by the stage. So at Series B and later stages, there are still less European capital than US or the foreign capital. So Is European Union preparing any boost for the European VC market?
I think as regards comparing with the US market, indeed, there is much deeper, and in Europe we always say that we have a market that is fragmented, that there are basically 28 permutations. If the European VC market had been as deep as in the US, there are some estimations that there would be more than 90 billion euros raised more. But of course, these are estimations. But in order to push this further, to promote a more integrated venture capital market in Europe, there is the initiative, the policy initiative that we are now pushing via the member states, namely the Capital Markets Union, because there are no reasons why the markets would be as fragmented as they are still, and also that the national authorities would be so intra-focused in their own countries. So that's, let's say, the policy initiative, why we think it's important, and there we also see lots of untapped potential as regards cross-border, both fundraising and investing. Whereas on more the approach is in order to support the industry, because the industry still needs some public money, is the so-called, you might have heard the name Juncker plan, or we call it the investment plan for Europe, that has several components, and one of them being the European Fund for Strategic Investments. And there will be a particular focus, there is already a focus on the SMEs, on backing the innovative SMEs via different schemes, via venture capital, and for example, what MAJA was saying, that they are trying to establish at the cross-regional level. It's something that we are very much welcoming. It would be very much, it would fit into the concept of the investment plan of merging different markets more together. And we are also hoping on the seed bank as the national promotional bank to be involved in this in Slovenia, probably more in larger infrastructure projects, not so much on the SME scheme, but still. Whereas there are also other instruments that are already being implemented via the investment vehicle, European Investment Fund, where they have been cooperating with Slovenian Enterprise Fund for years. So that's, let's say, more substantial in terms of the audience here. There are instruments that are under the so-called COSME program. There are instruments under the Horizon 2020 program. Basically, these instruments will not fill in the gap that exists on the market, but at least it's the push that implementing agencies like the Slovenian Enterprise Fund in Slovenia can build upon with their own experience. And of course, member states, they also have their structure funds, which of course it's up to the member states whether they want to invest this in the startup community. But we've seen good experience that Slovenia has had in this, like the seed twin projects that you mentioned. But what we've seen, it's not that we want to regulate, nothing at all. What we've seen in Slovenia in particular in the last couple of years has been very active crowdfunding scene, which has indeed been alternative source to startups here, given that bank finance has been depleted and that also public finance is very, very limited for obvious reasons. But in a nutshell, I would say that from seeing all the encouraging trends EU-wide and also in Slovenia, there is an ample of liquidity, and there are no reasons why this liquidity would not find projects or marketable investments. It's just that there is a certain broken link. And what the Commission can do is to promote the long-term investments, to stimulate the member states to improve the environment, but of course it's up to the member states. For example, in case of Slovenia, what we see, it's ideal geographical location. It's very good, booming startup community that you have here, but still the community has not yet been as visible abroad as it could be, and the whole environment here that's up to the authorities also is not attracting in enough of capital. So it's not that the Commission could play this role. It has to be the national authorities. And I very much also personally see lots of barriers still with the tax environment here in order to attract more, be it venture capital investments into the country and also other foreign direct investments into the country. If I did answer now the question. Yeah.
Thank you. Moshe, up to you. Tell us, you have, how do you see, where are the opportunities for European startups, or for European community to produce more unicorns? What's your feeling in your stomach? I want to know about your stomach. You said something about your stomach.
Okay. Obviously, the way I look at it, and I think this is the reason why I'm here, you have to remember, we are, in the Israeli community, the investment community is not active part of the European investment community. So I'm telling you the reason why I'm personally here, and I think that kind of reflects, right? In our ecosystem, the ecosystem that I'm playing, there are a few thousand startups joining the cycle every year, which is an incredible amount of deal flow. But alongside with that, there is incredible amount of money coming in from investors worldwide who want to join the ecosystem in Israel. So what's creating a motivation for, for the market to increase prices, and alongside with that, to decrease the chances of success for us as VCs, okay? And this is exactly the time for us as a VC to find other places and to find other opportunities for investment. And that's my third time in Slovenia. And I can tell you that I definitely see, we personally invest Krypton VC. We invest mainly in B2C startups, which are Me Too. We are looking for industries that are well established, that obviously there are going to be new ideas, but within existing ecosystems. So I can tell you that in Slovenia, I managed to see that there are many startups, many B2C startups joining the market, but with good execution. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for good execution from startups who are joining existing markets, but in other territories besides the one that we are naturally playing in. All our startups in our portfolio mainly play, in the US and trying to do well there, while I'm trying to go into countries that are, not there yet, and just trying to build on success that we have in other countries and just increasing it. Okay, so I'm doing it here. I'm doing it in Latin America as well, and I definitely see an opportunity here. So for your questions about unicorns, I can definitely see, I don't know if unicorn is the right word, but as a VC, we obviously look for a unicorn, but we cannot control unicorns. Companies can become unicorns because of reasons that we could not really expect. If I knew how to find a unicorn, I guess I would not be sitting here today. That's my stomach says to me. Okay, so I can tell you that a VC, we need to keep on looking for good quality companies, hardworking team with supporting ecosystem. The same as developing here, to make sure that you see an ecosystem that helping the startup to overcome obstacles. And when they get to an obstacle, there are other ways to get out of that and to bypass this obstacle with local ecosystem. And that's what I see here. So I can tell you that this is really encouraging to come to a place in the third time and to see all the progress. So hopefully I'll find the next unicorn here in Slovenia, and then I'll tell you what to do.
All right. Thank you. Our time is slowly running out, so now it's the perfect moment for your questions, if you do have any.